We know in the US today, 70% of all divorces are initiated by women, right? Now, in situations where the wife is a high earner or has an education, those numbers jump to 90% of divorces are initiated by women. Okay, now of all of those divorces, around 80% of the time, the main reason for that divorce is because of emotional disconnection. Okay, this is huge, and this is why I talk about this so much. This is not feelings. This is not subjective. This is facts. This is data. Okay, so I talked a lot about the pain points. I've talked a lot about what you've heard. Now I want to give you the solution, okay? Because that's what we do. We're tactical. And it's called the RISE conversation ladder. Because here's the truth. Most men don't need more time with their wife. They just need more quality in the minutes they already have. This isn't about quantity. It's about quality. And this is the big thing we miss, right? 30 minutes of truly present, undistracted, engaged conversation will be far better than even 3 hours of distracted time where your body may be there, but your mind is elsewhere. Your eyes are on your phone or the game or whatever else you're paying attention to, right? This is why I created this framework called the RISE conversation ladder, right? And the ladder has 4 rungs, okay? So stick with me. Routine, this is the basic level, the base level. Information, then story, then essence. And I want you to think about it as like a climb from surface talk to soul talk, all right? So let's break it down. Number 1, the lowest rung on the ladder is routine. This is where most of us live. It's logistics, okay? Routine-based questions are like, what time are you home? Did you grab the milk? Who's taking the kids tomorrow? This keeps the house running, but it doesn't keep the marriage alive, right? A Bureau of Labor Statistics report showed that the average couple with kids spends less than 35 minutes a day in real conversation. And actually, most of that is just about logistics. And that's why so many marriages start to feel like business partnerships. We treat our wives like a staff member or our kids like staff members, right? But for real, like you talk to your employees or your colleagues probably far more than your family. And part of that is normal because of the sheer amount of time we spend working. But it makes it even more important for us to make the conversation count when we are at home, right? So that's the first rung. The second rung is information. This is the second level. Now, this is where we're kind of exchanging headline news. It's information about the day. So questions like, how was work? What did the teacher say? Did your mom call after? Now, this is better than silence, but if you stop here, your conversations essentially just become reporting, not relating, right? You're swapping headlines from the day. And the Gottman Institute warns that couples who stay stuck at this level have a 50% higher chance of emotional drift. Now, you can think of this information rung as a bit of an on-ramp into where the real conversation that your wife is craving, right? And that brings us to the third level, which is story. Okay, this is where you move from what happened to how it felt. Does that make sense? So questions on the story level would be, what was the hardest part of your day? What made you proud today? Or another one might be what made you smile today and why? Or what do you wish I understood better about what you're dealing with right now? You see, Dr. Sue Johnson, which is the founder of Emotionally Focused Therapy, found that couples who share feelings, not just facts, see an 80% increase in emotional safety. Hey, brother, if you are listening to this show, you've most likely built a successful career. You handle pressure, you lead teams, and you get results. But when was the last time you really connected with your wife beyond the calendar, the kids, and the to-do list? Well, if that sounds like you, I have a free gift for you today called the Connection Code. Which are 50 questions to break the silence, spark the fun, and bring the fire back. These questions are going to help you learn what she truly desires from you, to break out of the routine and to rediscover fun, and to spark deeper passion and connection without forcing awkward conversations. Listen, most men assume their wives feel loved, but the best husbands ask great questions and keep the connection alive. So if your date nights feel more like board meetings, and if you've gone from soulmates to roommates, and I want you to download this connection code for free and start the kind of conversations that bring you closer tonight. You can grab your copy at dadnationcode.com/code or hit the link in the show notes below. All right, let's get back into it. My friend, this level is where we hesitate because we're constantly plagued with this idea that we need to fix it, right? But she doesn't need you to fix it. She needs you to hear it without flinching, okay? And as there's an author, David Augsburger, he said this one time: being heard is so close to being loved that for the average person, they are almost indistinguishable. Let me read that again. Being heard is so close to being loved that for the average person, they are almost indistinguishable. Okay. Now for the fourth and final level, this is all about essence, right? This is where intimacy gets reborn. This is where meaning lives. This is where her fears, her faith, her dreams live. All right. So these kinds of questions would be like, what's been on your heart that you haven't said out loud lately? Another question could be, what dream keeps tugging at you that we haven't talked about? Or what's one thing you're praying for or believing for right now? Or another one might be, what's one thing that you'd love for our family to do, be, or see in the next 5 years? And just let her unpack it. And this is what your wife means when she says, I just want to feel close to you. It was never about sharing space. It was about sharing essence, our deepest desires, to be truly seen, to be truly heard, to be truly safe to share, right? Now, another study by Terry Orbuch, this was a long-term study of a bunch of thriving couples, and she actually did a TED Talk on this. And this study found that couples who have meaning-level conversations, right, which is what we're talking about, at least once a week report 2 times greater satisfaction and 3 times higher sexual intimacy than couples who only stay at that routine or information level. So here's the thing. Here's a big disclaimer. The payoff here is real, but so is the risk. Because going here means that you might have to hear her fears that you can't fix, or her dreams that might feel big and impossible. And you might want to put that pressure on yourself to make those come true. But that's okay, because it's not your job to do that, all right? You're not her savior. You're her safe place. Allow her to share. That's it. My friend, if this hit home for you today, don't stop here. The full episode dives even deeper. So click right here to watch it now. Trust me, this might be the conversation that changes everything for you.